Hello everybody, it's your old pal Tuna here, and welcome back to another video. In today's vlog, we are off on an adventure. I am headed to Penticton, BC to attend the Pentacon, which is kind of like a all-purpose pop culture convention. For the first time ever, I have had the pleasure of being invited out as a guest by the event, so they are putting me up for the weekend. I have been gifted a table, and in exchange, I am doing a panel and just, you know, hanging out and being my usual self. I flew into Kelowna on the Friday before the event from Vancouver. I was picked up by one of the organizers who was actually a longtime patron and supporter of mine, and we had a little bit of time to kill in the afternoon, so you know what we did. Oh yeah.
You're not allowed to move now. He's too comfortable.
I've been chosen.
Yeah.
Okay, everyone, I am already on cloud nine for this weekend, and the weekend hasn't even started yet. The con has not even begun. Obviously, I am all set up. I am now in my hotel room, which I don't know if you guys know about this about me, but I love hotel rooms. For years, I've been staying in Airbnbs, but there's something about a hotel. Like, first of all, weird TV that knows my name, which I'm obsessed with. Really luxurious beds that are just clean, you know? And there's like foliage foliage. I know it's that. That's a Simpsons reference. I do not Simpsons reference you guys, but Mark and I literally just make them back and forth at each other all day, every day. So yeah, everything is set up for the weekend. I've already just met a bunch of the people who are on the board for the Pentacon, and all of the staff who I interacted with and all of the other vendors. Everyone just seems really nice. And if you watched my previous small town con vlog when I went to Courtenay, BC for CovaCon, you know that I have a lot of space in my heart for these smaller shows, and it's difficult sometimes to weigh like the cost versus potential payoff of these things. Like if I was coming here on my own dollar, which I'm not, then it would be like I'd have to just, you know, be setting targets and hoping that I'm gonna meet them. But this weekend is all just vibes. It's all gravy. I have sweatshirts, I have t-shirts, I have tote bags, I have stickers, and I have limited supply of everything. So let's see if we sell out of anything. I think that'd be fun. The rest of this evening is mine, mostly. I am going to do prep for my panel tomorrow afternoon, which is gonna be like, if you watch my other previous video where I talk about my freelance career, it's just gonna be that plus a whole bunch of my advice as to how to like become a full-time artist. So I will finish up the presentation for that tonight, go get some food because I'm starving, and I just found out that the hotel has a pool and a hot tub. I did not bring a swimsuit. I do have underwear, but I'm gonna see if I can buy a really cheap swimsuit because I love pools also. That's another reason why I love hotels, because they have pools and free breakfast. Come on. As you can tell, I am in high spirits. Let's go enjoy the rest of our evening and get hype for a very full and boisterous weekend of cosplay and shenanigans. Good morning, everyone. Are you ready for Pentacon Day 1? I woke up very early because mild hangover, but I had an amazing breakfast. I will film tomorrow's breakfast because hotel breakfasts are OP. But I am here behind my table. I think there's still an hour before the show opens, but I got nothing better to do than walk around and smile at everyone. I feel kind of lonely because my booth is in like the guest little strip of stuff and the artist alley is over there, and I'm like, fellow artists, they're so far away from me, but hopefully people will be excited to come find me in the corner. My panel is at 3:30. I'm super excited about that, and I feel pretty well rested for someone who was dancing until 1 in the morning. Gonna finish up getting everything ready back here with all of my merchandise, get it all organized, and everything's coming together real smooth. All right, y'all, end of day 1. I am so tired. I completely forgot to film my panel earlier today, unfortunately, but it went really well. Ever since then, I like used up the last of my energy, and I've just been like, boo. And I went out to dinner with the Pentacon host people and some of the other guests, and like I'm just like nodding off like in the corner while everyone's chatting. So you'll excuse me if this check-in is brief. I am ready for cartoons and Stardew, and we're back tomorrow morning, I think 10 a.m. I should probably check. I am pretty sure that this weekend is going to be a very lasting memory for me because I feel like there's so little pressure because I'm here as a guest and like everything is taken care of. Oh, my dream. And because it's a smaller show, it's really laid back, a lot of downtime. I can sit all day rather than standing on my feet. And everyone who I've interacted with is just 10 out of 10 on the kindness scale. So yeah, we'll go into more detail when I debrief you probably tomorrow night. But for now, we may finally rest.
Rug, it is your destiny.
What? Okay. Do you hear the word snail?
Snail, it's your turn.
Yes!
I've been trying to find a moment to have a chat with you guys, but between forgetting and being busy and it being noisy, I haven't had a chance. It is, I think, just after 4, so we're almost at the end of the day now. And while today has been like a slow for the con kind of thing, I've been doing great. So I am super jazzed. I feel really relaxed. I got gifted a necklace and matching bracelet from an adorable child in a half fursuit who bought a t-shirt from me. And yeah, we'll like go over it at the very end, but this experience has been like 10 out of 10. Thank you to Pentacon for having me. And I'll try and get some takedown footage before we finish up the vlog here. So yes, as you can tell, I am back home in Vancouver now, filming the final clip of this video. I managed to get more footage than I thought that I would, so way to go me, especially with forgetting to film my panel. Total doy moment. If you guys would like to see a separate video of me kind of going over what it was that I said at the panel was called So You Want to Be a Freelance, no, it was So You Want to Be a Full-Time Artist, but it probably should have been freelance because that was basically what I was talking about. Leave a comment down below, let me know, because I have my notes from that. I have a terrible slideshow. I will make something better for the video. And yeah, it's the kind of topic I can go on about and literally do go on about in all of these videos, so yeah, let me know if you want a dedicated video to those tips. Otherwise, there's just a few notes. One thing that I wanted to talk about was my display. Now, you saw me putting together the grid cubes, and the grid cubes, bless their hearts, where would us con artists be without the grid cubes? They used to be a huge part of my display. I've had different kinds over the years, and now I don't really use them as much. I think the last time I used them was back in May for VanCaf, but I'm just not like a huge fan. They do work for creating the upward mobility, but the main thing that they're good for, and now I'm like, oh, this is why I have these, is traveling. Now that I have converted my sticker sheet display to this like giant yellow board that I made in a previous video, that would be pretty difficult to travel with. I haven't tried yet. I might like get a box, old TV box or something, and see if I can bring it with me in the future. But being able to have that grid display and sticking all the stickers up, it was all very last minute. I didn't really plan in advance how my display was gonna look at all. And then one of the other things that I bought specifically for the event was the stuff that my prints were on, and I found those on Amazon. They're meant to be dish storage shelving, but I think that the manufacturers know that people want to display prints and other market type objects on them. So definitely recommend those. You don't have to buy them from Amazon. I don't know where else you could find them. This is not a plug. I don't have an affiliate link, but yeah, I definitely recommend them. They're a little bit like delicate because if you were to smash it, probably the pegs would tear off, but they pack flat and really good solution for when you don't want to be hauling around gigantic yellow wooden objects. Just me. Otherwise, some of the highlights of the event were the neighbors that I had at the table. In one of the earlier clips, I mentioned that I felt lonely because I was like actually away from the artist alley, but to my left was the wonderful Autumn Cosplays, and she was just so sweet. I believe she's located in Calgary. She was another guest that was brought out by the event. And I've said it before, but the neighbors that you have beside you at a market can really make or break like how you feel about the thing. In hindsight, especially because when there is downtime, you're gonna be chatting with them. You might as well like them. I was also really grateful for how wonderful the organizers were. As I mentioned, I knew one of them who was my patron for a long time, who I'd met in person a few times beforehand, but for the rest of them, I was meeting them all for the first time. The entire board is women, so the whole event is woman-led, and I don't think that that's very common in these sorts of circles, so I felt very welcome and comfortable and supported, and going out to dinner with them was like hanging out with friends. And that all ties into why I feel that this is going to be a weekend that goes down in my memory books, because it wasn't just a convention. Like, I actually feel like I got the feeling of going to a convention when I'm not hustling. If you've been to a convention not working in cosplay with your friends, you'll know exactly what I mean, but there's this sense of like community and camaraderie and just like embracing who you are that conventions brings out in little weirdos like us. And yeah, on top of like working, I got to have that experience, and that I think is all because of the organizers, the people who were sitting around me, and just the general very nice nature of all of the people who were attending. Another thing I want to note is there were quite a few people from Vancouver at this event. Now, I probably wouldn't have taken the risk to attend it if I hadn't been invited and brought out. And the main reason for that is that I don't drive, so I would have had to pay for airfare, which once you start paying for airfare and accommodations, like, you have to be pretty sure that you're gonna turn a solid profit with all those expenses behind you. And at this point in my marketing career, I am not ready to start taking those kinds of risks, but it seemed like a lot of people from Vancouver were. And I think that a big part of this is because the market scene here is becoming very quickly saturated, and I don't want to say oversaturated because I do believe there's space for everyone. There are a ton of events for people to vend at, but like after a certain point, you do start to want to branch out and try new things, like me going to Courtney, which I'm actually going to next weekend as well for the winter version of the market that we did. Spoilers for the next vlog, or probably 2 weeks from now vlog. Going to different places that are not super far from home is an easy way to tap into maybe a market that isn't as saturated, events that don't have as many applications for artist tables, and generally have lower buy-ins for the tables themselves. Like, I think that the Artist Alley table was something like $80 at this event, which, I'm sorry, the average for me right now is probably $300 for a weekend, if not more, for tables. So it's a great opportunity for people who are smaller, people in Kelowna or some of the other surrounding smaller cities, because Penticton's quite a ways from Vancouver. And then for us big city folk to smash in and ruin it for everyone. I am planning to go back next year. I just had a really wonderful time. Again, all of the people I felt a kinship with, and I do want to continue to support their event and watch it grow over time. And on that note, it's not all about money. We've said this before on the channel, but I do want to tell you about the numbers that I turned, because I think that it's something that transparency is really valuable, so you can see what people like me who are doing this on a more full-time basis are making. Look at my boy in the back, isn't he so cute? Yeah. So my expenses were only cost for my inventory, which I put at between 10 and 30%. I always try and mark my inventory up by at least 3 times. That's the kind of cost retail sort of minimum in most scenarios. So my total sales for the weekend were just under $2,500 for 2 days, which was more than I was expecting to make, to be honest. And I think that this number is largely because I had quite a few bigger ticket items at my table that were moving quite well. So my tote bags, I think I brought 5 of each kind and I sold out of 1 of them. My t-shirts, I sold a lot of those. I would check, but it's on my square, which is you're my square, and yeah. And then my Meowloween sweaters, I had managed to convince my friend who was screen printing them for me to get them done like on a rush so I could bring a handful. I had 12 and I think I brought 3 back, and I was selling those for $75 each because they cost me like $30 each to make. Don't come for me, I know it's expensive. So yeah, my average sale, I'm pretty sure was something like, it was either like $27 or $37 average sale, which is way higher than it usually is. Usually I'm hitting like $19 to $22 average sale. And I think that those big ticket items made a big difference. And it does encourage me to want to make more big ticket items, like on one hand, because they're moving, especially in the in-person scenarios. And then on the other hand, because they boost the overall number at the end of the weekend, and yo, we get a sweet dopamine hit from that, I'm not gonna lie. So yeah, overall I'm super pleased with the outcome. I sold out of a few different sticker sheet designs. There was one sticker sheet that was so popular and has been really popular in the Makers store as well, which we will talk about soon, I promise, which is the Creepy Cuties design, which is a design that I've had for years now. That is an old sticker sheet design, and it's never been particularly popular, but I've always really liked it, so I keep reprinting it in smaller batches, and for some reason sold out at Pentacon, and yeah, at Makers it's been moving off the shelves. With that being said, I think that that's good enough to want to come back next year, so I'm very much looking forward to it. And here's a little tip at the end of the video, because you made it so far. One of the great things that you can do if you are interested in getting into doing markets, I always get questions like, how do you find markets to apply to? And what I actually do is during the winter season or the summer season, if I hear about an event and it's too late to apply, I put it in my calendar and I'm like, okay, let's follow this social media account or subscribe to a newsletter or just make a note around 6 months before the event to check in with the organizers to see when the applications for Artist Alley or Market Space are open. So if you're interested in going to the Pentacon, I will be there, hopefully. Now's the time to make a note that you want to go and plan ahead for the future. So yeah, that's it. You made it to the end of the video. It is now time for me to thank my amazing patrons, without whom I would literally not be able to make these videos. Just editing the videos takes at least a day of my time. So for me to be able to have that 8 to 12 hour chunk designated specifically to content creation, I need the support of these amazing people. So if you do enjoy what I do here, please consider checking out the link below. I have rewards for $1, I have rewards for $10, I have rewards for $25, and I think next year there's gonna be a little something special added on top of that. But I understand we can't support everyone, so I'm very grateful that you are watching this video, that you made it to the end of this video. Please consider subscribing if you'd like to come back next Sunday for more sweet content. Be sure to like so the algorithm is happy, and I asked you the same question last week and only a couple people told me. I want to know what you guys are being for Halloween. I am doing, last night I was a ghost witch, which was just kind of like a fancy outfit. And tonight, it is the day before you are seeing this, I am going as an alien and I'm gonna do all over green face paint, and hopefully I am not going to look like a hot mess. But yeah, you guys know I love Halloween. It's like all over my house all the time. So please, fill my spirit full of Halloween cheer and let me know what you dressed up as or are dressing up as this year. Stay sparkly, don't let the cruel world dull your shine, and I will see you next time.